Hi guys, let's take a look at how we can evaluate this expression when x is 4I, which is a complex number. I believe if this is not a complex number, most students would be able to do that because, for instance, if x is not not a complex number, say x is 1, what is the y value? Y would be equal to 1 plus 2 times 1 divided by 1 plus 3, and then you do the algebra, right? So now the challenge is this is a complex number. Let's take a look at how we can actually do that. So first of all, let's plug in the 4i into this expression. So it's 1 plus 2 times 4i divided by 4i plus 3. Okay. So what causes trouble is on the bottom. This is a complex number. So that's what we don't want. We want to like remove the complex number from the bottom. So how do we do that? One of the very useful strategy for this type of problem is to multiply by 1. So when I say 1, it's basically something over something. They are the identical thing. Now you want to find the complex conjugate of this number. So now what is its complex conjugate? It is, so sometimes it might be useful to think about this as 3 plus 4i, right? And then what is its complex conjugate? It is 3 minus 4i. Okay, so now I suggest you to think about this as 3 plus 4i. They're the same, right? They're the same. So instead of 4i plus 3, think of this as 3 plus 4i. So this is what you want to multiply. Of course, you want to multiply by 1. Therefore, you multiply the top and bottom by the same value, which is 3 minus 4i. Now, let's do the algebra right here. So the top, you actually have 1 plus 8i times 3 plus 4i. This is 2 times 4 is 8. So now you're going to FOIL it. So let's FOIL it. So 1 times 3 is 3, right? And then 1 times negative 4i is minus 4i. And then 8i, so I'm going to use another color. So let's use yellow. Oh, yellow is difficult to see. Let's use pink. So 8i times 3 is 24i plus 24i. And the very last one is 8i times negative 4i. So negative 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. And then I times I is I square, isn't it? So I square. Okay. Well, the pink one is not very bright, so I probably switch that back to my red color. So I squared. The very last one is 30 minus 32 I squared. Okay. Now what is I square? I square is basically just negative 1. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now on the bottom, I'll simplify the top real soon. So on the bottom, this is 3 plus 4i, 3 minus 4i. The structure is a minus b times a plus b, right? So we'll get the difference of the square. This is the difference of square. So we'll get 3 square minus 4i and then square, okay? So this is the result. You can FOIL it to check, but this is a shortcut. This is a squared minus b squared, the difference of the squares. Now, let's simplify the top. So 3, this is 3, and this is minus 32 times negative 1, which is plus 32. So this the very last term becomes plus 32. So 3 plus 32, we get 35. And here this is minus 4i, this is plus 24i. If you negative 4 plus 24, you get 20, right? So plus 20i. Now on the bottom, so we get 9 minus 4i squared, that means 16 I square. If you remember the I square basically is just a negative 1. So this guy is actually negative 1. It's -1. So therefore, I'm gonna continue right here. 35 plus 20i. So this is 9 plus 16 instead of -16 because of the I square, it gives you plus 16, which is 25. Okay, so 25. Do you see that we actually have a common factor 5? So therefore, you can cancel that and then pick the correct answer. From the simplified answer. So this is my suggestion for this problem. Now I'm gonna give you another hint. So please open a GeoGebra. Go to the GeoGebra website, and this is the website geogebra.org, and then go to the graphing. You see that graphing calculator. So you can actually check your answer. So I certainly encourage technology, but you should use technology to check your answer. You don't want to just get the answer from the technology without any thinking. That will be missing the point. So if you remember, this is 1. Let's zoom in now. So 1 plus 2 times 4i divided by 4i plus 3, right? So you can do that. So by typing 1 plus 2 times 4i and then divided by 4i plus 3. And then this is the expected answer. So now you have something that you expected. Of course, in this case, it will be fraction. But here, your answer is in a decimal, but they should be equivalent. So that's my hint for this particular problem.